Why, hello there. Thanks for stopping by. You're about to check out an episode of the Freddie and Alyssa show. But before you do, I wanted to remind you to subscribe to the channel. This way you don't miss any future videos that are coming. You can just click the link below. Boom, subscribe. You'll be all set. Now enjoy the episode. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday. Got my coffee all hot. Ooh, can you see that steam? Thank you, Eric Martzoff. There was an article in Deadline that you put on your Instagram, and it's more news about Days of Our Lives and what's going on, so I want to keep everybody up to date here. So if you haven't seen the Deadline article, you can Google it, but I'm going to read it to you right here and then throw in my 2 cents, if you will. All right. So Days of Our Lives will continue on NBC, Chairman Paul Telegdy says. Days of Our Lives is not going anywhere. While the network has not announced a renewal of its longest-running series for the 56th season, or I guess the network hasn't, but we did get word that it is going to be renewed. NBC Chairman Paul Telegdy at TCA this morning confirmed that the daytime drama will be coming back. Here's a quote. "We are in the middle of finding out very soon," end quote, Telegdy said before adding, "Of course Days of Our Lives is going to carry on. We love it. I know that it will be good news for the fans," end quote. It's going to be good news for the fans, for the community, for the show, for the cast, for the crew. We're all very, very excited. And now that the New Year's here, I know we're all really excited to hear what's going on. And this further explains kind of what's going on. Following the executive session, Telegdy confirmed that negotiations are still going on and the series will stay on NBC, not to the upcoming Peacock streaming service. Now that is interesting because I've been hearing for quite some time, maybe like 6 months to a year, that's kind of the new wave of what's happening in the world. As obviously it started with Netflix and Hulu and HBO Go and now we have Hulu Plus and Apple Plus and Prime. There's all these different platforms. So I'm assuming I'll have to do some research that NBC is going to have a Peacock streaming site or app, just like Hulu and anything else, that is probably going to be where it's not going to be on the actual channel, but on the streaming service. So we'll see how that evolves. But it looks like we're going to have the traditional, just as it's been, just on NBC, which is good because when it goes on the streaming service, I don't know what that would mean for the cast and the crew. I don't know what that would mean for hours, how many episodes, if that would affect anyone's pay. I'm unaware of that, so I'll keep everyone posted on that. But it from what Telegdy has said, that the negotiations are ongoing with the series, but it's going to stay on NBC, not move to the upcoming streaming service. When we looked at how many people watched this thing, people love it, he said. Telegdy's comments come almost 2 months after Days executive producer Ken Corday of Corday Productions, which produces the daytime drama, told the cast in November that the show had been renewed for the 56th season. Corday's announcement came a couple weeks after word got out that the cast of NBC's daytime soap has been released from their contracts, which we had been. The cost-cutting move came during the annual renewal window between NBC and Days distributor Sony Pictures. A renewal for Days typically comes at the start of the year. Negotiations for another season of the show on NBC, which has been underway, likely got accelerated by fan outcry over the news of contract releases. So thank you for every Days fan who's watching this right now. All your outcry is being heard. The power of social media, writing letters, it has expedited this. But that's what I had an idea about, because this is way bigger than, there's just so many people involved. I mean, this is NBC. I know it feels like our home, and to everyone watching who's just, watching TV just like I do on channels I'm not affiliated with, you're just like, it's just another channel. But NBC is NBC. There's only so many slots and so much content that wants to be put in these slots. But because of the loyal fan base and the great show that Days has put on for all these years, we keep that spot. But there's got to be negotiations, because I know advertising has to be changing, because people just aren't watching TV like they used to. And I've done a video on this before, I believe, where the views aren't correlating with the actual advertising. So if somebody DVRs it, which many do, my mom does that for General Hospital. If you DVR it and don't watch it within 3 days, The advertising doesn't count, and people also know if it's DVR, no one's watching the commercials. So you got to think as advertisers, I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, they've got to be paying less than they were in like 1990 or 2001 before people could fast forward or watch things on an app. So I know that so the negotiations, as much as we didn't like being taken off our contracts, that amount of money, that days saved, they probably were able to bring into negotiations to get us picked up for another year. So yeah, we lost a couple months of pay, but if that gets us another 12 or 24 months of work, that's a great trade-off. After a big wave of cancellations of daytime soaps, the genre had been stable for the past few years, with the 4 remaining series, NBC Days of Our Lives, ABC's General Hospital, and CBS's Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful. Like any network programming, soaps have come under economic pressure amid declining linear ratings. So the ratings have gone down. I think when I first started, they were around 2.2. Maybe they're around 1.4, 1.5 now. But I'm not sure. Let's see if they even bring it up here. Days of Our Lives, which has aired more than 13,725 episodes, premiered as a half-hour drama in 1965 and expanded to an hour 10 years later. The show has garnered 61 Daytime Emmy Awards, as well as multiple People's Choice Awards, GLAAD Media Awards, and Prism Awards. Set in the fictitious Midwestern town of Salem, Days of Our Lives airs nationally on NBC in the United States and in more than 25 countries internationally. The core families are the Bradys, Hortons, and DeMiras, and the multi-layered storylines involve elements of romance, adventure, mystery, comedy, and drama. Deadline. Where's the Kiriakises? Come on. The Bradys, Hortons, DeMiras, and Kiriakis. The Kiriakis. Days of Our Lives is produced by Corday Productions in association with Sony Pictures Television. Ken Corday is the executive producer, and co-executive producers Greg Ming and Albert Alar. So that is the news, which kind of came to an interesting. I was kind of like, wait, aren't we already renewed? So we are, and that just confirms it. But we're all just kind of waiting around. So I wanted to make a little quick video here to keep you up to date. And then I'll also research and figure out what's going on with that Peacock streaming service. I know that we have the dual app as well. So I think more than what's going to happen in the future of Days of Our Lives, I think unfortunately, I believe with everything changing, there's going to be a point, whether it's in a year or in 5 years or 10 years, that it being at 1 p.m. on NBC will change. But if Days and Sony and NBC and everyone involved, because of the streaming services and the app and things like YouTube, I mean, there is a lot of different avenues to produce content and run advertising. So I'm really interested to see if Days will continue on with this new age, because right now we're in the midst. This is, what day is it today? January 11th. We're in the midst of all of these different companies branching off and producing their content solely on their platforms, and then charging, Disney Plus is $7, Apple's going to be $5 a month. And then individual creators, even ourselves, Alyssa and I, in the future, maybe 2 to 3 years, depending on where everything goes, we might even be able to create our own app and streaming service, not at the scale of it, but like through a third party that allows people to go to a place that has exclusive content. So essentially, everyone's going to be breaking off of cable in the next 2 to 5 years. And then maybe another decade of that, someone then who's going to be big enough in these tech companies will then buy all of that and put it back into one thing like cable, from what I heard from somebody before. Not on actual cable, but putting all of the Hulus and Netflix. Someone will probably buy everything together, or only be a few, big winners there. But I'm super happy. I wanted to keep everybody up to date with what's going on with Days. So I appreciate all the fans out there who continue to support us and who are reaching out and making this negotiation go quicker, because I can only imagine the crew. I know the cast, we've had our vacation, but we're ready to go back to work. And so every day I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, all right, it's Monday. All right, it's Wednesday. It's Friday. This seems like a good day to get a call. And but now with this article coming out, I have a really good feeling that next week something amazing is going to happen. So so thank you. I want to thank all of you for continuing to support Days of Our Lives and the show, and your viewership and your love goes further than just ratings. Behind all those ratings are 1,000 people who this is their bread and butter of what they do for a living, and we are blessed and grateful to have such an incredible job and such a fun environment to tell stories that mean something, that entertain, that create drama. So the whole entire ecosystem is just a beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it, and I'm so thankful for all of you and your passion for the show. So thank you, and this has been another update, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We're going to be posting videos almost every day on random or all different kinds of topics, but of course days of our lives as well, so I'll keep you up to date on that. And if you like the video, please give the video a like. That really helps support the channel with the YouTube algorithm, so we'd really appreciate that. So thanks for listening, enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.